Greetings. So in this video I'd like to show you how to change the daytime running lights on a 2007 to 2010 Cobalt from being the low beam to the fog lights, if you have fog lights, that is. But you can also use this method to change your daytimes to other lights if you so choose. So alright, so apologies for the shadows here, the sun is in a stupid spot, but this whole mod can be done from within the fuse box under the hood. And all you basically need is two of these things, mini ADO circuits or fuse taps, whatever you want to call them. These are what you need. So all you basically really need to do, the fuse for the daytime lights is right here. The fuse for the fog lights is right here, the 15. What you basically need to do is run the power from there to here. That's it. So I'm going to show you how to do that using these things. And yeah, it's going to take a little creative engineering just because of the relays that are in the way. So yeah, anyway, what you want to do is just take the fuse tap out of the package, and first step, cut this off and get yourself a heat shrinkable, weatherproof butt connector, because that way, even though it's highly unlikely you'll get water in there, it's better to be safe than corroded. So yeah, I'm gonna set these things up and then we can resume. Next step that you want to do is remove the 10 amp fuse from the daytime lights and the 15 amp fuse from the fog lights. You want to put the 10 on the one that's going to replace it in that slot. Do not put it on the bottom, put it on the top side that is in line with the cable, because if you put it in the bottom one, then the daytime lights will still go to the headlights. And then you put the 15 amp for the fog lights on the other one on the bottom slot, and then put another 10 amp on the top with the wire. So now what you want to do, bend the pins on these fuse taps a little bit so that they can clear these stupid relays that are in the way. Again, apologies if this is really dark because shadows and whatnot, but what you want to do is plug them in. The one with the single 10 amp fuse can go into the section for the fog lights, and then this one you can just kind of twist the wires all around. You can see the heat shrink butt connector I put on here for weather resistance, and then just kind of squeeze this one in. If you don't have the pins bent enough, it won't go in, but if you don't need much, you just need to get the wire to clear this thing, so it doesn't take a hell of a lot. So then once that is in, you can just kind of tuck the wires down a little bit, and that's it. So now go in here, gotta find my keys. Okay, so turn it on but not all the way, shift out of park. I'll just put it in neutral for now. Make sure the parking brake is down, because if the parking brake is up, it turns the daytimes off, so you won't be able to see this going. So I've got the wheels chalked so the car's not going anywhere. So you can see down there, fog lights are on. And the headlights are not on. Fog lights are. So now, if you turn the headlights on, it functions just as it normally would. The headlights will turn on, fog lights turn off. So everything works as it should. You've just rerouted where everything goes now. Alright, so now that everything is done, I'll offer up some pointers and I guess answer some questions you may have regarding this thing. Like I mentioned before, this only works on 2007 and up models for Cobalts, Pontiac, I guess Pursuits or G5s, mostly G5s, because I think the Pursuit was only for like 05 and 06 or something like that. But yeah, in 2007 they changed the daytime lights from being the turn signal bulbs to be in the low beam on a sort of lower voltage. It's kind of stupid the way they did it, because instead of actually having the computer put out a lower voltage, they just put full voltage and ran the power through a looped wire that literally goes back and forth across the rat support on the front of the car. After a few years, this wire will likely burn and basically just stop working. So if your daytime lights don't work on an 07 and up, that's probably why. So check your fuse. If your fuse is good, yeah, that's probably the problem. But in any case, from 07 and up, this should work perfectly fine. And you can use it to change the daytime lights from the low beams to the fog lights, or even anything else. Like, for example, if you want to install some halos or LEDs or whatever, you'll only actually need one fuse tap for that instead of two. So just run the power from that fuse tap to whatever light source you want to use. On this car, I actually have HIDs installed in the fog lights. As you saw before, those ones are just incandescent. So another thing to make note of is, if you have HIDs installed or any other type of high power light, you may want to change the fuses from 10 amps between the daytime light circuit and the fog light circuit or whatever to at least a 15, because otherwise you might be popping fuses constantly. If you have just regular incandescent lights, you should be fine. But yeah, on this car I had to up it to 15 just because the HIDs draw a bit more power than incandescent, so it was popping the fuses. But other than that, it should be fine. So if you have any other questions, then feel free to leave them below and I'll try to help as best as I can. But at least this way, if you have an HID kit installed in your low beams and you want to get rid of the daytime lights there, this is the easiest way to do it, while at the same time retaining the daytime lights so that you're not running like illegal, I guess. Like here in Canada, daytime lights are a requirement, which is whatever, but make do with what you got. Yeah. Anyway, if you have any questions, comment below and I'll do my best to help you out. All right? Bye.